Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a 3D bow. So this is a really simple 3D bow to start us all off for New Year. So I got this. Is that not just stunning? I absolutely love this. This were a Christmas present. So I thought I would use this today. So I have done a tip. So there's 2 coats of black gel polish on there and the top coat. So I'm just gonna wipe that tacky layer off before I go any further. And then I'm just gonna take a file and I'm just gonna gently buff that surface so that that acrylic has got somewhere to adhere to. So I'm not gonna go on mad. So that will do, and then just wipe off that dust so it's just left some indents in that gel polish to help with that acrylic to stick. If I were doing this over an acrylic nail, you wouldn't obviously have to do that. So for this I'm going to use my number 2 brush and some Snow White acrylic powder. So it is really simple, is this. So I'm just gonna go in now and pick up a bead. So I'm gonna place that where I want it and then just flatten that out slightly into the shape that I want. So I want this in like a triangle, a rounded triangle, I think is the best way to describe this. So I'm just gonna get that into the shape. Obviously that bit there wants to be thinner and then this one wants to be thicker. So it is like a rounded triangle. So I'm just gonna let that set a bit, and while that's setting I'm just gonna get my brush ready. So I'm just spinning that so that I can get that into a point. And then once this starts going matte, I'm going to take the tip of the brush onto the thinnest part of that and press in so that you're getting your indent in the middle, and then just push that out to the sides. So I want it to come, I want a bit of that black to come through, so I'm going to press a bit harder in this area here and then not as much in this part. So it is basically like a giant petal. So I'm just going to push that back so that is more of a straight line, and then just so that is one side. And I may have done that a little bit too big. This one I'm going to place on and do exactly the same. So I'm going to pull this out. So I want it to be roughly the size of this one. Push that into that side a little bit, and then don't have to be perfect, you know, it's a bow. I've done bows and there've been all sorts of shapes and sizes, so I just think it needs to be a little bit wider, but I suppose when I go in. So again, I'm just going to take my brush and swirl that so that it's in a point, and then take the tip of that brush, place it where you want to start into that middle of that and press down. Then move on to them sides. My voice is going. Okay. So as you can see, I have done a little bit too much there, so I'm just gonna get a tiny little bit of acrylic in there, and then just go in and push. I've done it again. Never mind, don't matter. I can sort that out in a minute. And then I'm gonna straighten that off. I think that wants to be a bit bigger anyway, so I'm just gonna put my brush under this little bit and push that in. same on this side, just so it's got a ledge, so like that. So like I said, I pressed a bit too much here, but there is the same on that one, but I think that's a little bit too dark. So all I'm going to do there is I'm just going to go in with some clear and just clear some white down and just gently cover that back in. So just keep going in and just titivate that up while it's still a bit pliable. So as you can see, that is the start of this bow. My chair is so squeaky, guys, it is so annoying. I might have to either try some oil or get a new chair because this is going to drive me crackers. Right, so for the ribbons, I'm just going to take a bead, I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to drag it down into a line. So try and keep it neat. I don't want too much acrylic getting away from me. So I'm just going to do it a bit thinner. Right. So again, I'm just going to roll that brush, and then I'm going to go in this side first, and I'm just going to take my brush and flatten that out this way. Then I'm going to go in and flatten it out this way, and then turn it back around and do this way. And what that does is it gives you like a wiggly ribbon. So just go back in. So on this middle one, try and leave a ridge so that it just looks that little bit. You see where it's got the little ridges there. So I'm going to do another one. So I will do that on opposite side. Obviously that's too big, I can tell straight away with that one. So I'm just going to pick up another bead, place that on there, and then just use the tip of your brush just to push that up into the space. So because I want this one a little bit longer as well, I think. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. And then do the same again. So while that's just setting up a bit, I'll just roll that brush. Okay, so I'm going to press it in this side, twist, and then the opposite side, and then this side. So you just want it to, it's like 3 just separate little pushes in there, and it just gives you a wiggly bit. And then I'm just going to straighten that little piece off there. So that is the bow so far, and then the last little bit, so you could put a stone in there, or you could just go in with a little bead, and that has got to be so tiny. So I am going to bleed that, because if I don't want that spreading, and I'm just going to place that into that centre, and then just press that ever so slightly. Dry your brush off, and then I'm just going to flatten it out tiny little bit. So as you can see, that is a really simple 3D bow. So all I have got to do now is top coat. So the only bit that I want to top coat on this is the scratches that I have made round. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my palette, just going to put a tiny little bit of top coat on there, and then I'm just going to take a brush and I'm just going to go in and go round. So you don't want to go over it. I want the, you could, but I want the contrast of the matte to the gloss. So that part there, let me just get my big brush. So on this part I could go in like that. Just do it like that. Same with the bottom part, I could go straight in and just even that all out. And then I'll bang that back into the lamp for a minute. So the only thing to do now is just to wipe that sticky layer off. That is really simple bow that you can do with acrylic. So that is the start of my 3D work. So I started off easier, so I will do different bows varying in difficulty, as I'd say, but for a start I think that one is easy, and yeah, just give it a go guys, and thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next one, and Happy New Year. Bye.